Two of the best looking roller coasters are opening this year at two different Busch Gardens parks from two different manufacturers. But which looks to be the best? Let's speculate by breaking down these two heavy hitters and see what they each have in store for us. The drop in each instance is a beyond vertical drop with a full-length train, which is going to be pretty crazy in the back row. The drop is part of the finale on Pantheon, while it's the start of Gwazi. Because you'll be moving at quite some speed before taking on Pantheon's drop, the anticipation is likely going to be greater on Gwazi, with the lift hill and slow crest over the edge. However, looking down on Pantheon and seeing the river below you before dropping down, and likely getting stronger forces out of it, is why I think Pantheon's drop is going to be the winner here. The outer banks on each of these rides look incredible. I don't think we've ever seen an outer bank turn bank outward for so long like it does on Pantheon, and it is one of, if not the most talked about element during ride construction this season. Turning riders in an almost complete 90-degree turn all while outer banked. The shaping on the RMC seems to turn riders inward before flipping them to the outside of the turn. Here I'm really looking forward to what I think will feel more forceful and be quite the WTF element, which is the Intamin Pantheon. One of the most talked about elements for Iron Gwazi and Pantheon, the stall on each ride is near the end of the attraction. However, Pantheon's is said to pull negative 0.2 Gs, while Iron Gwazi's is likely a perfect 0 G stall at 0.0 Gs. Getting hang time through this incredibly long stall on Pantheon is my most anticipated element on the ride for me, and probably my most anticipated element this year, and it definitely edges out Iron Gwazi here. Major elements throughout the rest of the ride from Iron Gwazi include the death roll, an overbank turn, the wave turn over the station, and that strange twisted Asian camelback ending. On Pantheon, we have an early inversion, a triple launch section, forward and backward motion, and some speedy S-bends right along the route. Overall, the wild and out-of-control elements on Iron Gwazi seem like they'll complete the ride better. Iron Gwazi feels like a more cohesive ride, and it takes the win here. Now that we've looked at some highlights, let's move on to pacing and some other categories. Pacing on Iron Gwazi and Pantheon look to be great. Iron Gwazi looks to go through elements with incredible speed that doesn't trail off until you hit the brakes. Pantheon starts off looking sluggish and then gains speed for a wild ending. RMC has some rides that seem to be a little off pace-wise and others that rip through the course with no remorse. Iron Gwazi seems to be the latter, and possibly have the best pacing of any of their coasters yet. It looks out of control and never lets up. Iron Gwazi doesn't seem to have any sections of straight track. These quick left-right punches throughout the course of the ride just seem to be totally insane. Pantheon, while including some amazing looking elements, does seem to give riders a short break in between some where that out-of-control feeling will be lost. I think you'll have way more adrenaline pulsing through you once you're on that final brake run of Iron Gwazi. Both of these rides are built by premier manufacturers and each have their own unique style of shaping. Intamin's tight turns and what looks to be a more calculated and in-control track will deliver steady forces in comfortable and thrilling ways. The RMC will likely have some lateral forces in moments where you truly feel like you're going to get thrown from the train because of all the quick transitions. But I have to go with the calculated craziness of Intamin, because you never know when Intamin will actually push it too far, and that's what roller coasters are all about. These rides both look to be very re-rideable for the most part due to the smooth track and computer-based calculations that are used to build the attractions. Iron Gwazi may throw in some spikes of high G-forces, and Pantheon should feel more in control. It's a personal preference here, and I'm going to give the edge to Iron Gwazi. RMC has never gotten much love for their harnesses, and there's no major change to remedy that problem just yet. Pantheon's trains are very comfortable, the seats hug your body better than the RMC train, and the lap bars feel more free and overall more normal. Pantheon for sure. Theming is unknown for the most part, so there's not much to say here, but personally I do like Iron Gwazi's very different lead car design. Pantheon's lead car has a very streamlined look which fits the ride's theme perfectly. Iron Gwazi also has that amazing entrance with the wave turn popping out over the station, but then Pantheon has that signature drop towards the river. Until more is known, it's a pretty even heat theme-wise. Iron Gwazi has 20% more track distance than Pantheon, but with Pantheon's quick switch that utilizes the same section of track multiple times, it'll end up having a longer ride time if you aren't counting the lift hill. This one goes to Pantheon. While Iron Gwazi is easily one of the most anticipated coasters ever, I'm shockingly choosing Pantheon. This is a ride with elements that we've never seen before from Intamin, and it looks to do them all incredibly well. The crazy long stall and that massive Outer Bank turn just look totally perfect. Either way, I cannot wait to try out both of these rides once they open this season, as both seem to be top 10 material roller coasters.